Funny how people unsubscribe from your life without notice. One day they swear forever, the next they're gone. But hey, if you're here, hit subscribe. It's free, unlike loyalty. My soon-to-be ex-wife Leah, 26F, and I, 28M, had been married for only 6 months after dating for 2 years. But now, everything was crumbling. Just days ago, I spoke with a lawyer and filed for divorce, because she had done the unthinkable. She sold my engagement ring. Not just any ring, but an heirloom that had been in my family for 3 generations. A platinum band set with diamonds. Its value wasn't just in its price but in its history. Leah knew how important it was to me. I had made it clear that I wanted to keep it in the family. Yet, last week, when I asked about her missing ring, she casually admitted that she had sold it. She didn't see the problem. According to her, the ring was outdated, not her style. So, she sold it and spent the money on luxury items, fancy purses and jewelry. As if it was nothing. I lost it. I told her she had to return everything and get the ring back immediately. My mother and grandmother, both still alive, would be devastated if they found out. But Leah didn't care. She had done it on purpose. She had disliked the ring from the moment I proposed but had stayed silent because it was a family piece. Now that we were married, she claimed it was hers to do with as she pleased. That was her logic. And she stood by it. The argument that followed was like nothing we had ever experienced before. Screaming, accusations, disbelief. I was willing to do whatever it took to get the ring back. But Leah refused. If I wanted it, she said, I'd have to buy it back myself. The betrayal was unbearable. I packed a small bag and left, driving to a suburban hotel where I am now staying. She didn't stop me. She didn't even look up as I walked out. And since then, she hasn't reached out. Not even once. I waited 2 days. But she never called. When Leah didn't respond, I knew it was over. On the 3rd day, I reached out to friends who pointed me toward a solid divorce attorney. After the consultation, I made the decision. I blocked Leah on everything. Yesterday, I signed the divorce papers. I didn't want to see her again. So, I took the day off work and went home while she wasn't there. I placed the divorce papers on the coffee table and started sorting through my belongings. Thankfully, a few friends showed up to help. They carried the heavier furniture and larger items to store at their places until I could figure out where to go next. By the time I was done, there was no trace of me left in that house. I returned to the motel. Then after 6 p.m. Leah came home. That's when her parents started blowing up my phone. Calls, texts, accusations. You can't do this. At least talk to her once. Unblock her, this is petty. I didn't care. I blocked them too. Then Leah's friends started harassing me. They called me unreasonable, egoistic, dramatic. But then they hit me with something unexpected. Leah had apparently contacted the jeweler. She was trying to buy the ring back. They claimed she felt awful and had been working to fix the mistake. But in their eyes, I was the bad guy because I hadn't given her enough time to make things right. Was I wrong? Since last night, the doubt has been gnawing at me. Did I overreact? Did I move too fast? I haven't told my family yet. My grandmother, who originally owned the ring when my grandfather proposed to her, is elderly. She would be devastated if she knew what Leah had done. Maybe even enough to have a heart attack. I can't risk that. But the ring is still out there. For the past 3 days, I've been in contact with the jeweler Leah sold it to. She had smugly given me his number during our fight, telling me to buy it back myself if I cared so much. And now I'm trying. The problem? The jeweler wants far more than he originally paid Leah for it. I'm still negotiating, but here's the kicker. Leah is too. He told me he'll sell it to whoever comes up with the money first. And if another buyer comes along before that? The ring, my family's history will be gone forever. Time is running out. The jeweler made it clear. If someone walks in and offers more money than what he quoted me, the ring will be gone. No reservations. No guarantees. Just business. I hate it, but I can't blame him. Leah made this mess when she sold the ring in the first place. Now I have to clean it up. I'm scrambling to gather the money, hoping he'll drop the price at the last minute. Maybe I'll get lucky. But if I don't and someone else buys it first, I have no idea what I'll do. I still haven't told my family. If I can get the ring back, I'll tell them everything. But if I lose it, that conversation will be a disaster. Update. It's been 4 days since I first shared my story. I doubted myself a lot, but after reading all the comments, I know I made the right choice. Leah's friends really messed with my head, twisting everything to make me the villain. But I see it clearly now. I blocked them all. Every last one of them. I want nothing to do with them ever again. It's still surreal. I spent years with Leah, and never in my worst nightmares did I imagine this happening. Sure, she was materialistic, but I tolerated it. I thought I understood her. But this was something else. She sold my family's history and acted like it was nothing. We've fought before, every couple does, but this time it was different. It was like I was looking at a stranger. That's why I'm divorcing her. If she thinks she can walk all over me after only 6 months of marriage, she's dead wrong. She knew how much the ring meant to me. She knew it was meant to stay in the family. Yet she treated it like a pawn shop trinket. I could try to explain this to her family and friends, but what's the point? They don't care. They just want to paint me as the bad guy. And Leah? She hasn't even tried to contact me. I know she has a burner account on social media. I never blocked it. But not a single message. It's weird considering how desperate she seemed. Instead of reaching out, it feels like she's trying to guilt me into changing my mind. But it's not working. The ring. I reached out to the jeweler again. Leah hasn't responded to him in 2 days. Maybe she's given up. Maybe she never actually wanted the ring back and only said she did to make herself look better. I don't know. And at this point, I don't care. I told the jeweler I'd take the ring at the price he offered. I don't want to risk losing it. He agreed. Tomorrow I'm going to his store, sending the payment and getting my ring back. Once I have it, I'll finally tell my family the truth. The end of it all. Leah hasn't been home. My mother is getting suspicious. She keeps asking why neither of us have been around and why Leah isn't returning her calls. Turns out, Leah moved out too. Probably staying with her parents or a friend. Not that it matters. This feels like the final step. I expect to hear from her lawyer soon, and once that happens we can move forward with the divorce. I have a feeling she won't contest it. At least I hope she won't. I was fair in the settlement. There's no reason for her to ask for anything more. But I guess I'll find out soon enough. For now I just need one thing, to get my family's ring back. Then and only then will this finally be over. It's almost over. I finally got the ring back. I paid the jeweler and held it in my hands again. Our family's legacy, almost lost forever because of Leah's selfishness. The jeweler, an old gossip, found the whole situation fascinating. But then he told me something that truly caught my attention. Leah had blocked him. Her so-called desperation to get the ring back? A lie. A show. Her friends had insisted she was devastated, that she was doing everything she could to fix things. But the moment she saw I wasn't coming back, she gave up. She didn't care about the ring. She didn't care about me. She only cared about looking like the victim. Breaking the news. With the ring safe, it was time to face my family. I was tired of hiding the truth. I drove to my parents' house, sat them down, and called my grandmother on FaceTime. Then I told them everything. So, that was the only word for it. Leah had always been sweet, kind, the perfect daughter-in-law. No one expected this. My grandmother was relieved I got the ring back, but she said something that stuck with me. She should be the one paying for it. She's right. It's unfair that I had to buy back something that was already mine. But I know the truth. Forcing Leah to pay would mean a drawn-out legal battle, endless negotiations, and thousands spent on lawyers. I don't have the time, energy, or money for that. Social conventions mean nothing in court. There was no written agreement about the ring. Even if I had the best lawyers, it wouldn't be worth it. So I let it go. My parents understood. But they were disappointed, not just in Leah but in how everything fell apart so quickly. Less than a year of marriage and we were already getting divorced. Hearing them talk about her, remembering how much they liked her, made something break inside me. For the first time since this nightmare began, I cried. I had spent weeks holding it all in, trying to stay strong, but sitting there listening to my parents talk about Leah and how much they had wanted this marriage to work, I lost it. They had to comfort me. And the worst part? Leah doesn't think she did anything wrong. That's why she sent her family and friends after me, trying to guilt-trip me into coming back. The whole act with the jeweler was just that, an act. She wanted to look upset. But the truth? She doesn't care. She thinks I'm overreacting. And that's the hardest part to accept. Moving forward. Despite everything, talking to my parents made me feel lighter, like a weight had finally been lifted. They told me they were proud of me. Proud that I stood up for myself. Proud that I refused to let anyone, even someone I loved, walk all over me. That was all the reassurance I needed. Now, all I can do is wait for Leah's response to my divorce filing. I just hope she doesn't contest anything. She's already caused me enough problems. I don't need another battle. Update, the call. A few days passed. I buried myself in work, making up for lost time, working overtime just to keep my mind off everything. I also found an apartment close to my job. No more hotels, no more living out of a suitcase. Between work and apartment hunting, I barely had time to think about Leah. And then last night she called. I didn't recognize the number, so I picked up. The moment I heard her voice, I froze. I didn't know whether to hang up or stay on the line. I said nothing. She didn't apologize. She didn't acknowledge what she had done. She just said she wanted to talk. One last time. And just like that, it was over. Leah's call had caught me off guard, but I decided to meet her. If nothing else, I wanted the divorce papers in hand. When I arrived at what had once been our home, the emptiness was overwhelming. She handed me a check along with the signed papers. Confused, I glanced at the amount. It was significant. She explained that she had returned everything she bought with the money from selling my ring. It wasn't the full amount I had to pay to get it back, but she promised to pay the difference in installments. I hadn't expected this. In truth, I had assumed that money was gone forever. For the first time since this all started, she finally apologized. Tears streamed down her face as she admitted she never intended for things to spiral out of control. But she also knew there was no fixing it. We had to let each other go. I didn't know how to respond. I just stood there listening. She continued, saying that even though her friends and family had supported her, she hadn't been able to convince herself that she was in the right. Deep down, she knew she had made a terrible mistake. She had wanted to reach out many times but had been too afraid of rejection. And then, without waiting for me to say a word, she left. I stood there for a long time trying to process everything. Then, for the second time in this ordeal, I cried. A new beginning. The next day, I went to the bank and cashed the check. It felt strangely freeing, like I was finally cutting the last remaining ties to this painful chapter. Leah and I haven't spoken since, and I think that's for the best. Holding on to anger won't change what happened. I just want to move on. Thanks to my friends, I was able to settle into my new apartment quickly. Their support, and my parents, has been invaluable. Without them, I don't think I would have coped as well as I have. Of course, I still miss Leah. And yes, I regret how everything turned out. But life won't pause for me to process my emotions. I still have bills to pay. I still have to go to work. I still have to live. The world moves forward whether I want it to or not. Final closure. A few weeks later, my divorce was officially finalized. Leah called one last time. This time, I didn't stay silent. I told her I wished things could have been different, but that this was our reality now. I wished her the best. She thanked me. And then she hung up. That was it. No dramatic ending. No final confrontation. Just two people who once loved each other saying goodbye. I won't lie, it hurts. But this is the closest thing to closure we'll ever get. Moving forward. Now I'm focusing on the future. In a few days I'll be going on a trip with some friends. I've been looking forward to it for weeks. For the first time in a long time, I feel like I'm turning the page and stepping into a new chapter of my life. I know I'm not fully healed yet, but I'm on my way. To everyone who has followed my journey, thank you. Your words of encouragement, your support, and even just your presence have meant the world to me. If this story resonated with you, if you've ever experienced something similar, please share your thoughts. Let's talk about it. And if there's one lesson to take from all of this, it's this. Sometimes love isn't enough. And that's okay. Letting go isn't easy, but sometimes it's the only way to truly move forward. If this story touched you, please like, share, and subscribe. Let's keep the conversation going.